I get this question a lot, so I'm going to genericize. Do you think, Essop, that I can run X time? And then you fill in the blank for X. The thing is, I'm not the person that you need to ask. Preach! Testify! Now, I covered this a little bit in the stopwatch video, but this is about as simple as I can go. Focusing on time will not make you faster. It's more likely to make you slower. You've bought into a system that your approval and your worth comes from a made-up quantity with a massive amount of variable error in it. If you run X time, then you're valid and important. But if you run Y time, then you're not. That view will betray you. It will probably never be fast enough, and the respect and approval will never be as much as you think it'll be. I had a powerlifting friend, and he was a European record holder. He taught me an immense amount about strength before he passed away. After he got the record, I remember sitting and chatting with him. I was so happy for him and said something like, wow, it's an amazing achievement. You must be so proud. And he said something like, well, if I did it, how good could it really be? He lifted 415 kilos that day. That's a feat. But all that weight couldn't fill that hole. And that's why I say, focus on the process, not the result. Because not only will it make you faster because you're in the present and you're focusing in the moment, but it's better for your long-term mental health too. Ultimately, you're going to run the time that you're going to run. And think about the inevitable conclusions of the question. If I say yes, does it mean anything? Some old fool on YouTube says yes, so suddenly it's so? That power of can you or can't you, if it's within anyone, and I'm not sure that it is within you. Don't ever give that away to anyone. Ever. I said in that stopwatch video, time is an illusion. It's not real. Those seconds, tenths, hundreds, thousands, they're not real. They're just a construct. What is real is if I train correctly, can I be faster? Then the answer's yes, of course. How much faster? That's the construct. I mean, what do you want me to say? 1 parsec? When Sir Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile, it was amazing. But within 3 years, 10 guys had done the same thing. Time as a construct does not help you get faster. In fact, it limits all but a few. And if I said, no, I don't think you can do it, would that mean anything? Some old fool on YouTube says no, so suddenly it's a no? I mean, would you really jack it all in? How could I possibly know your limiting factors? How could I possibly know how many you might have? How can I know how quickly you would solve them? Or the impact that solving each one of them would have on the time? Here's a quick example. 2 guys want to run 10 seconds for the 100. One guy has 1 limiting factor. One guy has 4 limiting factors. So who's going to run 10 seconds? It's impossible to say, because if the guy with 4 limiting factors has things like he's not sleeping properly, he doesn't eat well, he's overtrained, he's running the wrong distance, and the guy with 1 limiting factor is missing a leg, suddenly it becomes a little bit easier to work out who's got the better chance. The fundamental limiting factors are like mini versions of missing a leg, whereas the programming limiting factors are pretty easily identified and then resolved. And psychological limiting factors reveal themselves pretty quickly, but they can be a pig to shift. So every time that you find yourself asking this type of question, know that you're demonstrating a psychological limiting factor that, on top of all your other limiting factors, is also going to have to be overcome. My advice, for what it's worth, is ignore the time. Focus on the process. And if you can't do that, then make it a foregone conclusion in your mind that you can achieve it. You do that by spending the time visualizing. Basically, that's just complicated words for daydreaming. You just need to daydream about it a lot. Keep replaying in your mind you doing it, and keep reliving the emotions of you feeling it. Make it vivid. Enjoy it. Make it so real that in the end you're like Schwarzenegger in Total Recall, where you don't genuinely know if it really happened or not. Play that every single time that you ask the question. So the question is, can I? And the answer is, you replay the glorious day that you did. I hope this helps. Bust me a thumbs up, because let me tell you something. Bustin' makes me feel good. Chit chat away in the comments, babe. If you like my vibe, please subscribe. Woo!